Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.
Welcome back to Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates. If you're just joining us, we've been talking with Rick Marshall, the Assistant Sheriff and running for Nye County Sheriff. And we've been talking about the reserve program that you have, which is fascinating and sounds like a great program that actually probably saves us some tax dollars and really helps out there. So I'll let you continue.
Well, it does, and there's several ways that it saves tax dollars. Is if you come on board as a reserve, and let's say that you're working in the jail, the only thing that we pay on you long term is workers' compensation. So if you get injured on the job, you're covered, and you're covered under workers' comp. For our reserves, we also supply them with their uniforms, supply them with the firearms and the tools of the trade, because you're giving up a portion of your life to come and volunteer your time. And it's expensive to outfit an officer.
I bet it is.
By the time they're done, you're probably looking at close to $3,000.
I don't doubt that at all.
You have a vest that's $770. You have a firearm along with the holster and magazines, runs about $780. Uniforms, $60 for a shirt, $70 for a pair of pants. Shoes are around $30. That doesn't include the handcuffs, the baton, the pepper spray, all of those things that we have to have. That's just a uniform. That doesn't count the patrol vehicle or anything like that. But what happens is you volunteer your time, and let's say that you get certified through the Nevada Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission. You are now a fully certified working officer, but you're volunteering your time. So now, when it comes time to hire for a full-time officer, you're already trained, you're already certified, and you say, I'd like to do this full-time. We slip you into the full-time spot. It's a seamless transition from one person quitting to another person starting, because we don't have to go through a background with you. We don't have to put you through the training that you've already had. You're already Nevada certified, so you just slip right in and you pick up where you're at, except now you're doing it every day instead of 24 hours a month. So it's a seamless transition, both in the jail and in patrol. Now, the patrol reserve academy is a little bit harder, because typically it has to be run 3 days a week at night, and then one day, either all day Saturday or all day Sunday. And what we typically do is we get with the reserve members that are going to go to the academy, and we say, what schedule works best for you guys? Because your full-time job is what pays your bills. It puts the bread and butter on the table, and we can't expect you to say, well, I'm going to take a day off here, take a day off there, because you have bills to pay, and that's what pays your bills. If we start having you miss work, then you're going to say, you know what, I'm falling behind in my bills. This is volunteer. This pays my tuition. This pays my bread and butter. This takes care of the house payment. Guys, I've got to drop out of the reserve program.
Right.
And our idea is to build up the reserve program, not have people drop out. In my time with Nye County, and I started as a reserve back in Ventura, and I had a sergeant that told me, start as a reserve, see if you like it. If it's compatible, come on full-time. So I'm a big believer in the reserve program. And one of the things I've talked about is a community liaison officer. Well, that community liaison officer won't just be answering calls. He's going to go out. He's going to handle the neighborhood watch programs. He's going to handle the reserve programs. He's going to be a recruiter. He's not just going to sit in an office and answer questions from people that call in. You have a problem, you call him, he'll resolve it. But he's also going to go out and get the reserves. We have active reserves in Pahrump, probably 7 or 8. And in a community this size, we should have a good 25 reserves. The problem is that we don't have a reserve coordinator dedicated to do the job. With the budget cuts that we've had over the last 4 years, we've lost 24 personnel from the sheriff's office.
Wow.
24 personnel, counting the buyouts, counting retirements that the commissioners have not authorized filling those positions. 24 people in the last 4 years. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot.
And their work doesn't go away because they retire. It's kind of like if in your real estate business, if you have 5 people in your office and 2 leave, those other 3 pick up the listings and everything else that the other 2 are doing. Same thing in our law enforcement world. When those 24 people left, their workload got shifted to other people that are still there. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to dedicate a person, that community liaison officer, to build up the reserve program and have a ready reserve force that will go out and help augment our full-time force so that we don't run into these problems that we have, so that we have a seamless transition from when somebody retires, somebody moves on, somebody else that wants it can go right in, and there'll be no downtime for the public.
Well, as assuming that you win the election, would you say that's kind of one of your goals, to build up that reserve program?
That absolutely is. It's been a goal of mine for 20 years that I can remember, trying to get somebody dedicated to do it, because it takes a lot of time. You just don't walk out and ask somebody, hey, you want to be a reserve? Come on. You know, they have to, as you're aware, pass the physical fitness test. They have a written test. They have a background investigation. They have an oral board investigation. They have a psychological test. They have a computer voice stress analyzer. They have a medical test. On top of all of that, they have to prepare for an academy. They have to complete an academy. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of effort. Then when they finally graduate and they start writing, then they have to go through the field training program. And our field training program is 22 weeks in length. Imagine doing that 24 hours a month. You know, you'll constantly be writing with somebody.
Which is, I know it's a lot, but I mean, it's a pretty serious job. You want to make sure that they're trained and capable to do it. So,
you don't want to be having somebody out there that does not understand laws of arrest, that does not understand the constitutional implications of a false arrest, that you want somebody that uses good common sense. You know, I've heard somebody say, the law is the law is the law. Well, it's not.
Right.
It's not. There are shades of gray in looking at the law. You know, a story that I tell is we had a gentleman about 8 months ago that was arrested at Walmart, shoplifter in custody. He's 47 years old. He had a baby formula and diapers that he was shoplifting. He was at the end of his rope, couldn't find a job. Common sense says, this is a misdemeanor, we're going to issue him a citation, and then we're going to let him know about the services that are available in Pahrump to help him. No to Abuse, Night Communities Coalition, the food pantries, the churches. These are things that a community does to help a community. All of us are invested in our community, and we want our community to work. You know, this gentleman had a clean record. He made a mistake. People make mistakes. It's what we do with those mistakes that define us. And this gentleman, he ended up learning from that mistake. He ended up getting the help that he needed, and he ended up getting a job so that he can support his family.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, we are actually out of time, but get out there and vote. Elections are coming up. Get out there and vote for your sheriff and all our other offices, and we'll see you next week here at Court Reporter.
Thank you.
Court Reporter with Stovall and Associates.